No such thing as someone else's child. No such thing as someone else's child. Our nation's children are all our children.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. There is a raised awareness and consciousness on the child sex trafficking industry right now online, not just because Jeffrey Epstein was murdered in jail, because he was going to expose his predator network of elites around the globe, not just because we have a predator president, keep your kids away from Joe Biden, and not just because The Sound of Freedom is the #1 movie in the country right now, actually defeating Disney and Indiana Jones at the box office. Sound of Freedom. Go see it. We're seeing people that are being brought to awareness. Mel Gibson, Tony Robbins, a lot of people coming out and speaking out against child sex trafficking and the sickness and the darkness of it. A lot of people saying, why isn't there a greater focus on these groups and these individuals who are facilitating this wicked practice? And there's a tweet that came across my social media feed that I thought was actually, quite frankly, unbelievable. And then I started looking into it. The Finders. Have you ever heard about this group? Wild. Check this out. I saw this tweet. I said, there's no way this is real. Quote from an FBI file. Specially government-trained kidnappers with top clearance and protection in their assigned task of stealing children, torturing and sexually abusing them, involving them in satanic orgies, blood rituals, and the murder of children. Vault, FBI.gov. The Finders. What the hell's that about? No way this is a real link, right? Wait. Holy crap. FBI.gov. That's the actual URL of the FBI. This is a real site. The FBI wasn't hacked. This is a real site. Holy smokes. This actually leads to a real FBI report about the Finders. In fact, it's a monster series of reports, 4 of them, including many thousands of pages. You can go through them, and I will take you to the pages that are of particular note. I encourage you to go look at them yourself. Okay, I want to make this very clear. I have not read every single document in here. There is a huge report at the FBI, but I just want to start by saying I'm going to try and separate what is real, like what is verifiable, from what is something that maybe is covered up and maybe demands more investigation. Okay, so here's what is real. The Finders are real. The Finders was an evil satanic group that abused children in Washington, D.C. with a connection to the CIA. That's verifiable. That's real. The CIA admits it. Wow. I couldn't believe this when I saw it. The CIA was running an organization called the Finders that kidnapped children from daycares, locked them in cages on a farm in Virginia, subjected them to satanic ritual abuse, and then had them participate in orgies, blood rituals, and sacrifice of other children, and sold them as sex slaves overseas. Huh? Okay, well, all right. I mean, again, let's go and look and see if there's something more than... Okay, let's go ahead and look and see if there's something more than Q Intel, right, to tell us that. So this is the site that they're linking to, okay? Fact check true, CIA kidnapping ring, FBI cover-up. In the 1970s, local police in Florida, Texas, and California discovered that the CIA was running a satanic cult that would kidnap kids, lock them in cages, and traumatize them. What? What the F? And the FBI covered it up. They did what? This site says? And then they link to the FBI document, okay, to go to the Finders. Again, I encourage you to go look for yourself. And then they show some of the shocking details from inside of these massive monster cover-up report. 1, there were tunnels found underneath preschools in order to apparently trap the children. 45-foot tunnel, 9-foot wide subterranean entrance was found under the wall of a classroom. There were children's bags found inside of these tunnels, and this was apparently hand dug in order to kidnap children. What? Apparently sacrifice rituals. They would slaughter goats. That's what this says. A memo says that effectively this was, run by, into CIA internal matter, investigation of the Finders that says that the investigation of the activity of the finders has become a CIA internal matter. The Metropolitan Police report has been classified secret and is not available for review. I was advised by the FBI that I had to withdraw from the investigation. This is in the documents. We're going to cover all this. Kids in cages. Virginia State investigation. Special agents said that the group was a survivalist organization outside of Culpeper, Virginia. During the Virginia State investigation, information was revealed that bodies were buried on the farm, and the excavation revealed nothing. However, cages were discovered on the premise, and witnesses revealed that they were used to keep children in the cages, and an FBI cover-up. Someone alleged that in conjunction with the State Department, the FBI Foreign Counterintelligence Section covered up the abuses. Okay, so these are just some snippets. And then this goes on to say that they moved the predator activities to different, like offshore. They offshored them. The CIA offshored them. Okay, all right. So let's jump in here. What do the records have to say? What do local media stories have to say? What's going on with actually? What is actually happening here? Because this is crazy, and I'm not going to be able to cover it all in just one video. But I feel like it's worth like establishing what is real and factual, what is like hard evidence, and what is speculation. FBI releases finder's file after 3 decades, declassified investigation linked to Tallahassee child abuse case. So here's what happened. A bunch of abused children were spotted in Tallahassee, flea bitten, and like starving children were spotted in a van with 2 dudes in Tallahassee, and those guys were arrested, and they were linked back to this group called the Finders, an organization out of Washington, D.C. that has been subject to unproven conspiracy theories, okay, shadowy government agencies, and child sex rings. It is the most requested topic according to the FBI's Vault page. So this is the most requested topic. Now, what is the connection to the CIA here? Well, apparently the CIA were using this. This is what is the allegation. The CIA was using this group as like an intelligence operation, as like a training course, and they were abusing children and allowing the abuse of children to happen. So the FBI eventually determined that this was like a cult commune, and they didn't actually charge anyone with child abuse because apparently everyone was agreeing to this style of lifestyle. That's what the FBI report says, okay? Take that for what it's worth. The case would have been forgotten, but a junior customs service agent came forward publicly noting that the D.C. police investigation of the finders was dropped because it became a CIA internal matter and a classified secret. Well, that would mean the CIA then stepping in and covering up their tracks, and they've done this before, and we know that. Why are there no JFK files? Why are they stopping the release of the JFK files? Great example. The CIA itself, of course, has maintained that this is a non-story and said that there are only 2 connections between the organization and the finders. Well, that seems a little bit more than 0 connections, but let's read. I'm reading to you, by the way, from Vice in an article on this topic. Isabel Petty, Isabel Petty, who is the finders, the cultists group, their founder's wife. She was employed by the CIA. For 10 years. And in the 1980s, the CIA used a company for its officers' computer training that happened to employ a bunch of members of the Finders, this child abusing cultist group. In the release documents, the belief is that there's some connection between the CIA and the Finders is most prominent in some April 1987 speculation from a D.C. police officer written up in an official report saying effectively that it is the D.C. police officers' investigators' report that the Finders organization is and has been utilized by the Central Intelligence Agency as a disinformation service, spreading non-essential, non-critical information to various organizations throughout the United States and overseas. Because of the assumption that there must be something bigger behind Marion Petty, this is the founder of the group's brand of weirdos. Rumors about the finders have outlived the group itself, which is believed to have died out with Petty. But the most damning point against the CIA conspiracy comes in 1993 FBI memo about their reopened investigation, which revealed no CIA interference. But nonetheless, you can go through and you can find clips like this. Okay, so this is from the Finders files inside of the FBI. All right, I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to direct you to the FBI, to their own records for you to do your own research. Okay. The Finders is a CIA front established in the 1960s. Members is specifically trained by government kidnappers with top clearance and protection for their assigned task of stealing children, torturing and sexually abusing them, and sometimes involving them in satanic orgies, blood rituals, and the murder of other children with slaughter of animals. Finders are known as sexual degenerates who use a fleet of unmarked cars to grab children from parks and schoolyards, many times using their own child members as decoys as they lure innocent children away from the crowd to come into their vans. Adults inside grab the children and then transport them to a series of safe houses as they await their fated end. They are used in ceremonies. These children murdered and sacrificed, and other body parts sold as sex slaves or auctioned off to various locations in the Northern Hemisphere. In the past, they have been auctioned off Las Vegas, Nevada, Toronto, Canada, Lincoln, Nebraska, Houston, Texas. Marion Petty, the leader of the cult, is identified pedophile, homosexual, and CIA officer. His son was a former employee of the CIA proprietary firm, Air America, which was notorious for smuggling drugs destined for out of the United States in the Golden Triangle, Saigon, Vietnam. What? Okay, so, okay, listen. Here's the file at the FBI. Here's the actual details, and it goes into the abuse details. Why the hell these people weren't charged, I do not know. But it is my obligation to, especially given the current environment where people are talking about this, to bring, I don't have time in a YouTube video to go do some larger investigation. We do have time to do that, and we can actually do that in documentary form, and maybe this is worthy of a documentary and some other interviews. But it is my obligation to you as an audience, especially in this current environment, to bring awareness to these things and to point you in the right direction so that you can yourself see the documents and you can yourself read you have some redactions here. Obviously, there's going to be redactions inside of this document. Virtually all government documents come with some type of redactions, right? Some of them are totally redacted. You can see here the sexual exploitation of children, obstruction of justice. You can read all of the notes. You can go through and read this entire investigation for yourself. Let me sort of end by saying this. I believe that our government is evil. I believe that there are people who are drawn to these powerful agencies because they have warped souls and sick minds and are sick liars. They're bad people. They're not good people. And they look the other way when horrible things, degenerate and awful things happen. They go through and have no desire to see a better world created. They have only desire to see things broken and destroyed. And they go about, quite frankly, just hurting and hurting people, okay, and allowing for the hurt of people. And they're okay with that because they're monsters, these people. They're monsters. It exists. It's real. And it's painful and it's unfortunate and it's tough to watch. It's hard to watch. It's hard to see. Lots of stories about people sobbing throughout Sound of Freedom, which is the trailer that you're watching right now. People stop, the movie stops and everyone cries for 10 straight minutes at the end of the movie, and also standing ovations. I encourage you to go see Sound of Freedom. I encourage you to go and to explore these topics for yourself. I've just scratched a little bit of the surface here. Look into it and understand this. Skepticism, especially in the face of unspeakable evil, is the only way. It's the only way. You must be a skeptic. You must understand that the world around you has angels in it and also has demons in it. And you got to be able to know the difference. And that means just being informed. It's your boy Benny. Don't trust your government. Made up some pretty bad dudes. Okay? Really don't trust your government. Find out for yourself. Like, share, and subscribe for more truth. See ya.